Right, here we're going to talk about the exponential growth and particularly the amount of money if you invest a principal P at a continuous rate R for a time T, or A equals P e to the RT. Now what I do here, money always gets students, people in general, excited. So this is the scenario that I present to students. I say the following. I say, all right, let's say at 15 years old, you're working minimum wage, you're making several $100s a month, and let's say in the course of a year you're really careful and you save $1,000 a year, okay, from 15 all the way up until you're 22 years old. Okay, you save $1,000 a month. Let's assume you go to college at 18 and you're done at 22. So then from 22 to 30, assuming you took a fair amount of math while you were in college, so you're going to get out and get a decent job. And nowadays, if as a math major, engineering, something like that, you'll start at about 60,000. It's like in 2017. So let's say that you're smart again because you learned about exponential growth, and instead of living on 60,000, you live on 50,000. So you save 10,000 a year. All right, and you just do this until you're 30 years old. So from 22 up to 30, you save $10,000 a year. But then at 30 years old, you've got kids and things are expensive. You don't save any more money, right? How much money are you going to have when you retire at age 66? Well, with this scenario, if you put $1,000 in every year, starting at age 15, and then at age 23, after you graduate, 23 up to 30, those 8 years, you put in 10%. And let's assume that grows at an 8% growth rate up until you're 30. If that's the case, well, at 30 years old, you're going to have $126,000 roughly. And now you invest that at 8% for 36 years until you're 66 when you retire. If you do that, you're going to end up with a little over $2.2 million. You will. Now what's interesting is, let's say that 8% you really shopped around for the best financial advisor possible, really took care of your account, and instead of 8%, you got just 1% more, 9% instead of 8%. If that were the case, then this $126,000 that you invest at 30 years old, that will grow at age 66. That will be $3.2 million. $1 million more than investing it at 8%. It's huge. So the point here is that little bit of difference, interest rate that you're getting on your investments is a huge difference. It's exponential, and it makes a huge difference. So, last year I got 7.5% on my investments. So 8% might be a little enthusiastic, but it's a nice thing. It's just a nice way to show students the point here. If you save money and invest it and don't spend it, just let it compound and grow. By the time you're ready to retire, you're going to have a nice amount of money to retire on. So that's my example on exponential growth, particularly continuous growth.